Welcome back to another not long-awaited episode of Absolutely Anima, the series about cinema and knights who arc, and today is the compromise. You see, I wanted to do Windflit, who already has his audio and B-roll recorded already, but the thought of giving him 3 to 4 hours of my paid leave to, well, a unit I barely respect was incredibly off-putting. Like, I would rather build the Nightmare Factory in Enfield. And I fucking did. Twice. That's just how much I hate this fuck. It's fine though. We can do Windflit when I get sick of looking at Art Defenders, and I need some pure hatred injected into my veins. So let's actually do a Cinema Nights member that's relevant right now. Well, okay, maybe not that relevant. It's a Bangirl time. So why am I doing Yumari first if I'm doing the Bang Dream collab units? Well, surely I should have gone with like the presumably main lead of Sekiko, who, if I'm going to cover the band. Well, I don't know a damn thing about Bang Dream, and the only interactions I ever had with Bushiroad's products was with like old ass Vanguard and Buddy Fight. Like I loved Vanguard so much back in the day. I had like this kind of like old art version of Bermuda Triangle, specifically JoJo deck, that I actually haven't touched in years because I can't find someone or an area that still supports this fucking format. Because I think the newer formats are fucking shit. Don't look at me like that. Bane Dream has never been something, well, I never been into though, and the closest I've gone to, well, the general genre of girl band animes and manga was Bocce the Rock. So I'm incredibly out of my depths here. So I picked Yumari on pure vibes and nothing else. Like, okay, she's a welfare ambusher who people think is mid, and she has this cool knife in her skin. I thought, sure, why not? I do plan to cover all the members in due time because there are not only technically Cinemites due to them being from an anime, I think they are all an interesting topic to discuss as niche knight focused design. Anyway, let's discuss this apparently mid ambusher and see what she can do within both her niche and by herself. A common trait with all the 5-star band members is the fact that they have two talents, sort of like IS welfares, except the second talents are tied to their niche, as it's tied into their shared mechanic of fever. Fever is very important to AV Magicka gang as how do I put it? It enables them to do a better version of the US's self-governing group, self-study group. Like the fucking Russian girls. Like that niche's entire gimmick as it's not, but this time it's not tied to a single fucking operator skill. Like basically, once you build up a fever of 450, which is a full red note in the corner of each of these units, the next manual activation of an AV Magicka skill will activate all their skills for free for a set duration of 20 seconds. I like this for three reasons. One is an adaptation of the Bang Dream rhythm games mechanic, and as previously established, I like rhythm games. It's a big W, and we definitely will try a Bang Dream game now. And secondly, it plays a section of the OP Kill Kiss, which is neat, and I like its sound. The final reason I like it is because it doesn't use everyone's SP, only the member who activated the skill to trigger a fever, and they will continue to use their skill as normal once fever is over. It's effectively 20 seconds of free ability usage for everyone, and a free extension to the activator. It's really good, but it's balanced by its reliability on working with each other member being deployed. You see, you need to reach 450 points to hit fever, and each member generates fever at different rates due to the conditions required to generate fever. Like, if you want to use fever in a reasonable amount during a stage, you need to use all of them, and I think that's really flavorful. Like, I think the fever mechanic is just a solid maypole for all the members to design all their skills and talents with. What does this mean for Yumari, though? Well, her fever generating talent of Do Not Fear Being Afraid generates 2 fever whenever she inflicts a slow or a fear, something she can do reliably. She also has the bonus of giving an extra 10% damage against slow and feared enemies to the whole entire gang, which is another shared trait of the gang's fever generation talents, but fuck it, we can talk about that aspect next time we talk about AV Magicka, because this is getting way too much to read in one fucking go for this paragraph. All you need to know is that her S2 fears and her other turn is a chance to slow, so it's not bad, but compared to her fellow band members, it's solid if the circumstances allow her to shine. I just think the idea of Fever carries her here, especially with her skills. No, that wasn't a skill lead-in. We still got like her module and other talent to talk about. Professional is her other talent. It's just basically just gives her a 21% chance to apply a 3-second slow, which when she deals damage to enemies. Mod 3 gives her an extra 9%, so it's a 30% chance of slow. Just gonna say it, Mod 3 very good if you're gonna use the entire band frequently. Not worth it if you're gonna be using Yumari outside of the niche, which we will get to at the end. Like, Mod 1 is nice as an extra 15% chance extra to the subclasses, an 50% chance to dodge. That was a mouthful, but it's nice. The reason I said Mod 3 is very good, though, inside the niche, is because her S2 is a talent multiplier for this skill, and her S1 is a multi-hitting skill, so she can actually reliably trigger this slow on skill. Off skill, though, I have fun trying to get value out of it, is what I'm going to be saying. Like, that said, its real build is in the form of the range expansion she gets whenever she's turned on her skill. Like, don't get excited, it's not Ascot and S3 range. It's just a simple additional row of tiles that gets covered. And in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing special, but it does continue another ongoing theme of the band members, which is supporting their lead singer and 6-star Lichpin, Sekiko, because she has a talent that artificially extends her range into other band members' range for her notes if they attack if their attack range overlaps in any way. Like, pair this with the fact that Yumari is an ambusher. She's effectively a slower, so she can help hold down enemies as Sekiko belts them with notes. Once again, I think it's just neat thematically that the other band members are ultimately just supports for the front woman, but in the case of Yumari, it's ultimately nothing really special. Shadowing strings is a skill. It's certainly a skill. Like, okay, it's a offensive recharge skill that requires manual activation, so I hate it already. But just like Chongyu's S3, I can tolerate your shit if it has a degree of automation to save me the need to micromanage. Basically, she will do a 5-hit strike, doing reduced arts damage per hit. What makes it interesting outside of it being a charge skill, which caps at 2 charges at all levels, is the fact that it will auto-activate for free. I mean, okay, we are now super reliant on the other members, but there's like 4 of them, you're going to be getting value out of it frequently. Also, since it's a 5-hit strike, and with how professional is worded, with a base 21% chance to slow, it's effectively a free slow for my master fight. Like, probably isn't, but I promised myself for the new year I would stop using maths to justify my whack takes. So you're gonna have to believe me in my own self-confidence from now on. Still, I think this skill is mid, even if you constantly be using it in Fever and free activations outside of its manual activations. I still think it's meh. Its only merit is effectively being a guaranteed slow, meaning it can be a fat Fever generation into groups and enemies. And the fact its competing skill has an unreasonably long downtime. Never mind, the skill sounds way better than whatever is coming up next. Drifting Soul is an auto recharge skill. I mean, that's better, I guess. With 52-second downtime at skill level 7. But for 15 seconds, it only inflicts a 1.5-second fear and then applies an arts dot every second with a talent multiplier for the slow. Like, it's 2x at skill level 7. And 2.2x at M3. So with mod 3, it's like 60% chance to slow at skill level 7, and I'm not doing the maths for M3. It does have high damage potential because at M3 is 100% of her attack, while S1 and 3 is only 70% of her attack. And since it's a dot over 15 seconds, it does have the potential to have a high damage cap, but like all good dot effects, you aren't reaching that potential most of the fucking time. Being realistic, S1 has more solid damage, it's not hampered by a long downtime, and it's a guaranteed slow. So why the fuck is my default skill still S2? Because I like auto recharge skills in comparison to manually activated offensive recharge skills that should have been a crit skill with the usual crit skill criteria. Yes, I'm being petty. I mean, if I'm going to be serious for a few seconds, I know the reason for this skill to be being a manual activation is due to the activation condition for Fever. But if you factor that in, it's just another W for S2. Like, why would I activate Fever with a S1 where it can provide an extra free 20 seconds of uptime for free to S2? Just saying. Regardless, if you're using Yumari, just use her S1. The niche does help cover up its downsides a little bit, but if you're insisting on using her by herself, on her own merits, you deserve to suffer, so use her S2 to increase your own self-inflicted pain. That said, she doesn't really stand on her own merits anyway. Look, this is interesting. When it comes to niche knights, I'm a big believer that a niche knight operator needs to function well by themselves, with the niche knight focused aspects of the kit just bring them up in power when used in the niche while still being on theme for said niche. This is why I will always say Paris is the gold standard for me when it comes to niche knight operator design. Like, she's an okay sub DPS with a healing niche that only gets better when played in Minos Knight, as she can apply her usual solo buff to all the other members, on top of the other things which are, well, once again, on theme for Minos Knight's niche. Yumari is interesting because she's excellent when Fever is applied more frequently with the help of the band, and the band makes her good skill more tolerable, but outside of the niche, she's bad. But I can't figure if the blame belongs on her or the other members of the subclass. Like, you are cool and all Yumari, but in the slow applying ambush and niche, you're competing against Ascalon, so there's no hope for you at all. Even if you narrow it down to wealth options, which is only 2 of them, this stupid fuck still exists, who is in limited time welfare, is only 150 red certs and a 4-star, so he's easier to acquire and then even easier to raise. And he's also single-handedly gatekeeps the existence of every other fucking ambusher that isn't Ascalon or IS Mizuki. Like, Cece, who the fuck is using Manticore or Kiara outside of waifu Cobras? Like, Yumai would have been decent if even didn't exist, because she would have the merit of being a welfare, although S1 Manticore would still be better, to be honest, within the bandwidth of 5-star ambushes or slows. Like, no matter how much cope you put into Yumari, she comes out looking bad. But the real question is, who do you blame here for her failings outside of her dedicated niche? Is it the circumstances of her situation with the fellow ambushers that came before her, or is it because the niche leaves her feeling empty when not in it? Personally, I would blame the niche, because I think out of the 5 band members, only 2 of them really exist for the niche. One is the linchpin of the niche that warps everyone else around her, and the other 2 have their merits as actual standalone operators with actual interesting design choices that I hope to see evolutions of in future 6 stars. There you go. My hand has been shown, and now you know what you can expect in future videos, Ox. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling you out now, since I know you are the one most pumped for this. You thought I would have done Mitsumi first, but that's what you get for trying to pitch a woman who idolizes Parvati. Now, I'm going to go leave you on the edge by not telling you the next time we're going to return to this niche nights, because I'm evil and devious like that. Goodbye now.